Okay, welcome to Kung Fu Episode number 2. So apparently, I've been living under a rock. Yeah, I literally have been living under a rock because I didn't know that October was not only Breast Cancer Awareness Month and Halloween, but it's also Bully Prevention Month. So, I'm going to tell you about me being bullied from high school to college. Because it's very important that people understand that they are not alone in this bullying. And why it's so difficult for people to talk about bullying is due to the fact of one word: shame. S-H-A-M-E, shame. I am ashamed. Alright? First and foremost, there's never anything for you to be ashamed of when you are the victim of bullying. Because no one gets up in the morning every day and says, hey, I'm going to be the victim of bullying today. No one does that. Nobody wants to be a victim of anything. But it does happen, and more likely than not, a lot of us are bullied by people who don't understand why they do it, or they do it for fun. You know? And that's the thing about bullying. You never really get down to the nitty-gritty of why your bullies bully you. And, I've been bullied from grade school to college. Like I said, from kindergarten to college. I actually did a report on it for one of my teachers. I don't remember which teacher it was, but I did do a report on it. So, after I get this hair out of my face, I actually am going to wash my hair tonight. So, going to comb it all out. Okay, so, here's the thing. There have been a conglomerate amount of reasons on why I've been bullied. Alright? I've been bullied for being mixed. I've been bullied for being short. I've been bullied for being ugly because people think that I'm ugly. But I don't care what people think. I once burnt off my face. So I'm very happy with having my face back. Alright? Suppose you probably are going to need proof of me burning off my face. So let me go ahead and get that for you. I make it a point to tell y'all the truth above all else when I make these videos, because I want you guys to think less of me. Definitely don't want to show you that. But so being bullied because I'm short, that would probably be the first thing. This was a few years ago in my 30s where I burnt off my face. I don't know if you guys can see that. But, so I'm happy to have my face back. I'm very protective of my face. I was protective of my face then, but I'm more protective of my face after losing my face. So, I was bullied because I was ugly as a child. At least in their eyes, I was ugly as a child. And, some of these things stick with you, like through life, and they change you, and they mess up your confidence, they mess up your life. And there's nothing wrong with being ashamed of being bullied. The problem with being bullied is that the victim doesn't know how to go home and tell their parents because they are ashamed to tell their parents. And I know you're thinking, but James, you know Kung Fu. I knew it back then too. But see, here's how the world works. At school, I was Peter Parker or Clark Kent. Outside of school, in the world we like to call reality, I was Spider-Man, Daredevil, Batman, Superman. I was all those guys because I could fight. In school was my kryptonite because I was scared of getting my butt whooped for defending myself. But you can't really beat somebody if they don't physically touch you. Then that means you're starting the altercation versus the verbal starting of the altercation. Bullies used to threaten me all the time, and I just took it. I'd go home, and if I wasn't bullied at the neighborhood by the kids at home, then I was bullied at school. Now the kids at home, they bullied me, but they also knew that I knew martial arts, so they knew how far they could take it. And as a martial artist, it took a whole lot to piss me off to the point of where we're going to fight. But also as a martial artist, all my senseis have always taught me, never fight if you can avoid it. Do not use your skills to physically harm another person unless they are trying to harm you. True martial arts. Now, as times have changed and people have changed and everything has evolved, I don't think people really go by those principles anymore. Now it's more about you can defend yourself if necessary. Or if you're taking certain other schools and they're like on a Cobra Kai power trip, uh, uh, enemies deserve no mercy, put the guy through the wall. Okay, so I'm kind of in the narrative of both of those. And, I've only really had to use my martial arts skills in child street fights when I was 6 to 12, and in being jumped on my job, and a few fights as a teenager. In like 1 week, I got into fights. So, here's the thing. In school, I was bullied by boys and girls. I was bullied by boys because they were bigger than me and they liked to pick on me. I was bullied by girls because of my ethnicity being mixed. And I was also bullied by boys because of my ethnicity being mixed. But mostly because I was short and ugly that I get picked on by boys and girls. But, a lot of the black girls didn't want nothing to do with me. And a lot of the white girls were prejudiced. So it was kind of a no-win situation for me with girls. But with the guys, it was kind of the same thing. The guys didn't really want me because I'm part white. So they was like, yeah, he's an Uncle Tom. He's going to go tell all the white people all our stuff. The white people felt the exact same way. And that's kind of how that rolled out to be. Now, the thing is, this carried on from kindergarten to college. Now, surprisingly enough, nobody ever fought me at school. Now, I had one incident at school that didn't really lead to a fight, but it led to a chase of me chasing a guy who bullied me. And I called him a very negative word that would be very harmful to the Alphabet Squad. And the teacher, who I did not know was part of the Alphabet Squad, made me write 100 times on a board that I will not call whatever the kid's name that I called the bad word 100 times on the chalkboard. So after that, I've learned not to use that word. No, and I respect that teacher till this day. I not too recently saw him, like before this pandemic stuff. I actually talked to him. He was getting another degree in something, but I figured since he was a teacher, he wouldn't need one, but you can always educate yourself. If you're not learning, you're not living. So I want to bring this video to an end because I'm also going to do a Scarlet Spider or a Spider-Man 2099 anti-bullying video, since this is the day before the last day of the month, which I did not know was Bullying Prevention Month. So let me end this with this. If you are being bullied, do not be afraid to tell someone. Do not be afraid to tell the teacher. Do not be afraid to tell a friend. Do not be afraid to tell the principal. Do not be afraid to tell your parents. Oh, let me give you one more story, because I was actually giving you this story before I had to delete the original video. So in high school in the 11th grade was probably the second to the last time that I got bullied. And it was going to be the first time that I was going to bring the pain to people at school. So I was in Miss Jones' class at CHS, Charlottesville High School. And the academic sports team members, there was at least 7 of them, were picking on me on a daily basis from the start of school until May. And the teacher, Miss Jones, a young black woman, and all the kids that were picking on me were also black, and she did absolutely nothing. They blew spitballs across the room into my hair, they'd ball up paper and hit me in the head, and they would do all kinds of other stuff. And Miss Jones would clearly see this, and again, do nothing. And back then, teachers really couldn't touch the students, but they could at least file a report. So she never filed a report, even though these kids were bullying me on a daily basis. I couldn't go home and tell anybody because of the shame that I felt, because me knowing martial arts, knowing that I could probably take 3 or 4 of these guys out, no problem, but I couldn't take all 7 of them out at the same time. So I decided I can take all 7 of them out at the same time if I bring an equalizer to school. I had a backpack just like this, by the way. It was super long, and it had all my books in it, so I never used my locker. Like, in all 4 years of high school, I never used my locker. Not one time did I use my locker. So these aren't the ones I took to school, but these are what I took to school. So on this day, I went to school. Stop. Leave that right there. On this day, I went to school and I had my nunchucks in a bag. And I said to myself that morning when I got up, I said, today is going to be the last day that anybody ever picks on me in school. I'm going to hurt people today. I can't wait to get to Miss Jones' class. That was all I said all morning long. I can't wait to get to Miss Jones' class. Because me and my best friends, not this pair, my gray pair that has dragons on it. It has black tape on it now, but it has dragons on it also. I said, me and my best friends, we're going to go to school today. And I'm going to teach these guys what the School of Hard Knocks actually means. So, class goes on. Spitballs fly across the room. Hit me in the head. Somebody balls up paper, hit me in the head. And I say, y'all know what? Keep it on up. And they're all giggling and laughing and everything. And so I can tell you two things is going to happen when that bell rings. All of you ain't going to bother me no more after today. Because today, went in my bag and said, me and these nunchucks right here, I remember who I am. And I'm going to hurt every last one of you. Now, I was cussing. And I want kids to see this, so I took all the cussing out of this video, hopefully. I'll scan it before I post it. But I took them nunchucks out this bag. And I said, today, I even the playing field. It's 7-on-2 now. So, the question is, when that bell rings, who dies first? So, then I said, you know what? I don't even need these. I said, I'm going to enjoy myself today. I said, this way I don't go to jail for a very long time. But y'all will never play sports again when I'm done with you. I said, y'all kept on. Teacher's watching it. She ain't doing nothing. But she's not going to be able to stop me. Because when that bell rings, I'm going to hurt y'all. Those weren't the words I used. So when the bell rung, I threw my backpack outside. Thinking to myself that these 7 guys were going to jump me and beat me up. But at least it was going to be over with. Because I knew one thing for sure. They may have beat me, but they were going to earn that whooping. And I was going to get my licks in. I was determined that I was going to send somebody to the hospital that day. Because I wasn't going to be going by myself. And I made sure that they knew when that bell rang, their lives were over. They were never going to play sports ever again. So I went out that hallway and I got ready. I posted up like the Rock. I was ready to go. It was these numbers. 2 guys followed behind me. Like the 2 biggest dudes. So I thought that was it. I'm going to get dusted. 2 guys went out the back door in the teacher's room. The other ones went behind the teacher out of her room, out of the far exit into the A area where the hallway is, where if you take the steps you go down to the B cafeteria, but if you take the exit you go outside across the balcony to the A area. So they went through all that. The 2 that went beside me, I was like this, and they were like this, and then they both went in 2 different directions. And I said, okay. So I picked my backpack up and put it on my back. Here comes Mrs. Jones with this yellow piece of paper. It's a referral to the office. And she goes, you need to go see Mr. Leatherwood right now. And I said, no. I called her a B, and I went straight to Mr. Lewis' office. Now, Mr. Lewis is married to my family, but I didn't know it until the night before, which is probably what gave me the confidence to take my nunchucks to school. So I explained to him that Mrs. Jones and Mr. Leatherwood have been picking on me since I started school. Well, Mr. Leatherwood anyway, but Miss Jones, I let him know that she let these kids pick on me from day 1 in her class until the day I brought my nunchucks to school. And she writes me the referral. So it's okay for them to all blow spitballs at me and throw paper in my hair all day long during the class. And she says absolutely nothing. I come to school with weapons to defend myself, and I get the referral. So the principal, Mr. Leatherwood, ripped it up. He said, don't worry about it. Go on to class. And if anybody bothers you today, you do what you gotta do. Nobody bothered me no more for the rest of the 11th grade year. Now in the 12th grade, I had 2 people pick on me. A girl named Xavier and a boy named Matt. Xavier last name starts with a G. Matt's last name starts with an S. And until this day, I still owe Gordy Hay my life because I wouldn't have graduated till I was like 19 or 20 had I beat the crap out of Matt. Now, Xavier, I had 2 female cousins handle her because I don't hit girls. I've only hit 1 girl that wasn't kin to me in my lifetime, and it was because she called me the N-word. Now, Xavier had to deal with my cousin T and my other cousin T. So, they had her up against the ropes. She would come to me crying in Miss Stokes' class day after day after day. And I said, no, no, no. I said, you wanted this. I don't hit girls. You threatened me because I'm mixed and you figured it was just going to be a walk to the park because I'm smaller than you and because you're a girl and I don't hit girls. But you got the shock of your life because I got cousins who, just like me, we like to fight. I said, don't feel good to be picked on, does it? When there's nothing you can do about it, right? Well, here's that thing. See, I can't touch you because you're a girl and I was raised better. But they're girls. And like me, they like to fight. So about maybe 3 weeks before I called the girls off of her. But as far as Matt goes, me and Matt, we were going to have it out. And so one day Matt pissed me off so bad that I reached, you know what? F it. I'm going to hurt this little white boy. He was bigger than me, so I don't know why I call him a little white boy. He was a freshman and I was a senior. And I went to go grab at him. And here's Gordy Hay. Snatched me up and took me away from that situation. Matt, you owe Gordy your life. Because you were a dead man. Simple as that. I know Kung Fu. You're just bigger than me. And a person that's bigger than me should know this. If they don't now, they will. The bigger you are means yippee-ki-yay. I don't have to hold back today. Simple as that. So, you've heard about my bullying. And that's just like the watered down versions. So again, a martial artist can be bullied. Don't be ashamed of being bullied. Don't be ashamed to tell someone. And please, for the love of all God, even Spider-Man was bullied by Flash Thompson. So, don't be ashamed. Yeah, granted, he never told Aunt May. But at the same time, shame keeps you from talking. And the only other reason why I'm making this video is because cyberbullying is a thing. And I watched a video earlier today about a young girl who was 10 years old who hung herself from being bullied. Don't give the bullies that success. Do not kill yourself so the bullies can win. Don't do it. Live. Live long enough to show them the error of their ways. This is Kung Fu Havoc number 2. Be seeing you.